Why am I so passionate about helping people going to a job they love or following their passion and really creating the life they want? Well, just let me start with my own career. How I got through some phases in my life where I needed to change, where I needed to do something, take action, etc. Now, for me, my working career even started when I was 14. In that days, there were some farmers around, and they had fruits to pluck, and that was one of my first jobs. And it was hard because as a 14-year-old, working all day, um, being used to go to school and play and stuff, that was my first meeting or my first experience in working life. And the thing that was really uh, that really stood out was, Jesus, I have to do something for 8 hours, and I don't really like it, but okay, it gives you money, and that was it for them because I was 14 and I wanted to buy a stereo, and that was a lot of money at that time. It was like now we're talking about 80s, right? Early 80s even, and that was a big deal. Stereo with cassettes with tapes and a pickup for records. So that was really nice. And I wanted that. So the job was exclusively for the money. But still, I realized there and then that working for the money was really not easy. It was hard. So after the summer, I got enough money to buy that stereo, but that was my first working experience. Now, my second one was as a waiter, and something happened there because there, at some point, it was no, it wasn't only for the money anymore because I felt I could help people in a way um, that I could bring something more value than just bringing them the food or the drinks or whatever. So there, my experience changed from just working for the money to serving people to helping people to being nice to people to have some humor to make them laugh. So that was my second work experience. So then I went to college, like they say, I learned to be a teacher. And during my studies as a teacher, I realized that I wasn't there at my place. I didn't want to really become a teacher anymore. I got interested in theater, and I didn't make the switch. And I really have to say, until this day, I regret that I followed through on my studies and I didn't go for my passion there and then. But hey, I was like 19, 20 years old, and it was a different time. So everybody told me, you're crazy, you need to finish your study, do that, and then you can see what you do. So I did that, right? But there I got to know the feeling of I want to do something else and I'm stuck. I'm stuck here because other people have some other expectations of me. So I endured. I got my diploma. Then I went to the army because in those days, you still needed to do 1 year in the army in Belgium. And after my army period, I searched some job as a teacher, but in those days it was very hard. And through my mom, I got a job with a really well-known firm with a good company. She knew somebody who worked there, and yeah, they had some influences, and I got into that company, which was a company that produced and did something with glass. So they put glass into buildings and stuff, also inside buildings. So it was a very, very, very good company. And at some point, I was stuck there. Um, I got that job through my mom, through this person my mom really good, really knew, was a friend. And I came early to the conclusion that I was totally unhappy with the job, totally unhappy with my life, totally happy with the job. And I didn't see a way to get out just because of I was afraid to let my mother down. I was afraid to let this friend of my mother down. I was afraid to let the people in the company down. I mean, I was really miserable. Uh, to give you an example, at lunch I went to the record shop that was near the company, and I just sat down during my break. I put my headphone on and I listened to music for an hour so that could be out of the company. It was at some stage it was so bad that I couldn't eat my that I when I came home I felt miserable. Um, yeah, that was really the first time that I felt like, what the hell am I doing? So I scraped all my courage together and I went to my manager and I told him, look, I'm not happy here. I want to get out. I want to go back to teaching. And I thought that he was going to be angry with me because I was there for like already a half a year, and I did files. I mean, I did some projects, and so there were already a lot of people depending on me, and everybody saw something in me and said, "Hey, you're gonna be promoted. You're going to do well in this company. You fit in this company." So I was expecting from this manager, from my boss, from the top line boss, uh, that he was going to be angry. But it turned out that he immediately accepted what I was saying to him. And the only thing he asked, okay, don't leave immediately, work off some things, endure some things, finish some projects, and then we're happy to let you go. So at that point, not only a weight fell off my shoulder, but I realized that if somebody has good intentions with you, even as a boss or a manager or whatever, then they completely understand when you're saying, I'm not feeling at home here, I'm not doing what I need to do here. So that was the experience there. I quit that job after, I think, 4 or 5 weeks and went into teaching. The thing that I really didn't want to do, I did again for the money because yeah, I at that time I bought a car, I had some expensive, so I went into teaching. After 3 weeks, I I could kill myself. I mean, that didn't make sense at all. I did out the school year. I was there 8 months in that school. Hated it. Hated everything of it. I got so fed up with the school system, with everything. And when the holidays started, they asked me, okay, we'll see you back in September. I said, no, 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 I'm not coming back in September. guys figure it out. I'm out of here. So that were my first experiences with jobs. I started then as a waiter again because there's always work as a waiter. And at some point I loved to do it. I met interesting people, and the guy who I worked for then was a really nice guy. He's still a really good friend of me now. I worked there. I learned some lessons there, and but the biggest lesson I learned was, oh my God, don't start in a job you don't like. Don't endure a job you don't like. Just don't do it. You'll make yourself unhappy. And then I was fed up with the whole thing, and I started, and I went for my real passion, which was theater, and I became an artist. Um, Now, this sounds really like, wow, an artist. And yeah, you probably were in other countries. I did, I was. But even, and I have to be real honest with that, even when you choose to go for your passion, it isn't easy, but it is 100% totally worth it. And that's the thing I want people to understand. Although it is not easy, although it is hard, it is so worth it. So I started this thing as an artist, which I did for 25 years. And during this period, I was also 10 years a hospital clown. Now, if you don't know the concept, hospital clowns visit sick children in hospitals, make them laugh, do things with them, very rewarding to do. And the last years, I did those children that didn't have to live for long. So they were dying. And that made me write a few things, write down a few things to think about things. And what I did with these things I wrote down, I wrote a book. And that book is still, that was 2012, by the way. That until this day is still my Bible to look on life, to stand in life, to it's the foundation of the coaching I'm doing now. And it really made me who I am today. But then something happened that uh, I didn't expect at all. At some point, my passion, my big passion, was over. I didn't know what to do because the thing I did so passionate for 25 years, suddenly, yeah, maybe not suddenly, it slipped in a little bit, but let's say over a period of 1 year, I was done. And the thing that I learned from my previous jobs, even though it was so long ago, was okay, Eddie, listen, even if it is your passion, you gotta leave this thing, you gotta get out. And that's what I did. I made that decision and I got out. Even though I had no future, even though I had no money, I got out. Until that day, until today, for me, it's one of the best decisions of my life because I knew that if I would stay, I would not only make myself unhappy, but I would have this grunge or this bad feeling about my passion. And now I can look back at a magnificent career of 25 years of being an artist, which was so great. I'm so thankful for it. So, thanks to the decision I made then, I can now look back with a very good feeling on that period. But there I was. I was out of a job. I was out of money. My marriage went bad, went sour, which, if you look at it, isn't so isn't is no surprise. But there I was, not knowing what to do. I really didn't know because I did something for 25 years full of passion, and my passion was gone. But I didn't have a new passion like this. It doesn't work that way. So I got into HR through a friend who thought that that was something for me because I was used to working with people and I had a lot of knowledge in people. So he said, "Hey, that's something for you." And at that time, it seemed the right thing to do, but it wasn't. And again, after even a few months, I got the same feeling again that I had like in my first job. Stomach turned around. I was miserable. I couldn't get out of the place fast enough. I just didn't like it. But I did assessments, and in one of the assessments, there was a guy I need to do assess, and he was totally not motivated to do the assessments, which I understand because he wanted a promotion, and I was in his way, right? And in the beginning, didn't go for it didn't went wrong. It didn't went well for him. So I saw something about him. I closed my file and I told him, look, put everything on the table, just tell me what's wrong. And he said, I just love this thing so much. I want to do this, but I hate these assessments. I don't understand them. I don't want them. I don't understand what this has got to do with my promotion, and this is blocking me. So I told him, okay, then just talk to me. Don't see it as an assessment. And we went through it, and I gave him a really nice assessment. And that moment, this was a mirror for me, right? And the next day, I did a call to my manager then, who was managing the firm, and I said, I want out, but I had it was I didn't was there for a long time. I want out, so he asked me when, and I said yesterday, and I'll never forget it. It was a Tuesday. I did the rest of the week, and they cleared my agenda for the week after. I just quit again because I knew that was the right thing to do. Again, I didn't have a future. I didn't have nothing. Now, the nice thing was that during this period, in this HR period, I came into contact with coaching. I knew the concept as because I did some sport in my younger days, not on high level, but so I knew the concept of coaching in sport, but I didn't realize it existed in like business, in like yeah, in like everything. And I really got triggered by that. And I wrote this book, this Model C book about this clowning attitude, and I did some lectures on it. I even did some lectures in Belgian prisons, which was really interesting. But I felt like there was something that I could help people with, bringing this attitude to make people happy. So I started as a life coach, and that went well. But I soon felt that there needed to be more because I couldn't live with it. I mean, luckily I had some other things going that period, so I didn't need to totally live from that money, which I couldn't. And then it hit me. Why wouldn't I coach people that were just like me? searching for their passion, were not feeling good in their job. The thing I did so many times, and I transitioned so many times, I changed myself so many times. So why couldn't I do that? And that's what I did. I created a program which called Serious, which is an anagram, but that doesn't matter because that's the thing I'm good at. That's what I did. That's I know how to do it. That's where I know what people feel. So not only did I refine a passion, my passion, but now I'm doing something where I can really make a difference for people, making them happy, helping them to a life they want. And I know, as I know very well what that means for yourself, for the people around you, for your family, your children, you name it. And if you are in a situation that you don't like, the job or whatever, then I really want to emphasize it that you can get out. It is no problem to get out. Everybody can get out. And if you need some help with that, I am open to a conversation, just a chat, to see where you're at and to see how you could get out of that. So don't be afraid to get in touch. Email me, go to my LinkedIn, and I'll promise you the chat we will have will change your life forever. If you choose not to, then that's okay. It's your choice. You just have to say yes or no and do the email, get in touch with me, whatever to do. If you want to have a change in your career, in your life, nice day, and hopefully we see each other soon.